I'm sorry, everyone. Internet woes. You know, you can be prepared as you want, but if the internet does not cooperate, you're kind of out. Out. So, sorry about that. I'm going to tape the first card, then I will upload it to Facebook, and then we'll try and see if we can do card 2 together. And hopefully from there we'll be able to craft together, because that's much more fun than this. All right, let me switch screens here. And, you know, feel free, if we can't do this live thing, if you have questions, please write comments in the, write your questions out, and I will definitely go back and answer them. Okay, so we will pretend this is live. Okay, first card for tonight. This one. We're just going to change it up just a tad. I had used mint macaron here, but I kind of want to keep the colors cohesive for all the cards. That way we don't have to have as many ink colors, because I am using quite a few. So we're going to use Old Olive instead. This is Seaside Spray ink, and I'm going to, I think this was Mango Melody, but we are going to use So Saffron for the sun or the moon or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so card number 1, here we go. So you'll get out your little kit here. And just keep that envelope somewhere where it's safe. Now you should have 2 Whisper White pieces. One is going to be for the insert of the card, and the other one is going to kind of be on the front. So we're going to take away the card base, keep one of those Whisper White pieces. You have this little Seaside Spray nested label, and you have the white nested label. Keep that out for now. And all right, grab your snail, or I would say snail, because we're gonna glue this down temporarily. Okay, it's kind of like triple stamping, but we're gonna kind of do it double stamping. If that makes sense. And we're going to kind of use a nested label die as opposed to, say, the typical rectangle, if that makes sense. So just a wee little bit of snail, and glue that white nested label down to your Whisper White layer. Okay? And we're going to be using this tree stamp, the one with the 2 trees. We're going to be using the bumpy side, so the actual kind of realistic version of the tree, and Old Olive. So you can get all that ready. Okay, here we go. Ink that up. And we're just going to start inking in a row all the way across, if that makes sense. Sort of. Okay, so here we go. Just stamp. You're going to be partially on the nested label die and partially just on the Whisper White rectangle layer, if that makes sense. Okay, good, good. Now we're going to re-ink. Now this time I'm going to just kind of go in the middle. So I'm kind of leaving, sorry guys, I can't see. I'm sitting quite low. We're going to leave a little bit of space in between. So we're going to actually do 3 of these stamps, full strength. So this one's going to be a little bit on the nested label die and a little bit onto the side, if that makes sense. And I see I've already got little dings here. It's okay because it's going to get covered up. No worries. And you'll see that this has kind of a gap here. It's okay. And I will show you later why. And if it's still not quite right, I will show you a fix that we can use to kind of hide that a little. Okay, and our last one with this stamp, kind of a little bit off on the right-hand side. Like so. So we should have 3 groups of trees. Let me get out my Simply Chamois here and clean that off. Oh, Indy, I hear her barking. Okay, next we're going to be using the smaller tree. And with this one, we're actually going to stamp off. Did I stamp off yet? No. Nope, I did full strength. Pardon me. Whew, I'm feeling nauseous. Sorry, having a little panic. Too much on the go right now. Okay, just work through it. If I have to go get some water or something. Excuse me. What a nice time to have a panic attack. Okay, so in between those spaces, is where we're going to stamp this little tree. Okay, so there's one. And let's put one over on the other side. Okay, so we've kind of got a row of trees. Now, to make it even more a little exciting, more foresty looking, stamp off once and just let this be a tree in the background, like so. Isn't that nice? So ink it up, stamp off. It doesn't have to be everywhere. There's one. And you know what? Let's do another one without re-inking. Why not? Just really, really in the background. Okay. I think that's good. I'm going to wipe this off. All right. While we're still inking things, let's get out our So Saffron and let's ink up that sun. Now I'm using the flat side of the sun. So Saffron. And I'm just going to put it up in the top right hand corner. Like so. And I'll clean that off before I get it everywhere. Okay, and our next step is to assemble. Isn't that easy? Actually, you know, I did use Deepest Sympathy on this one. On other cards I did with this exact same design. I actually took the thank you from Peaceful Moments and just stamped it right onto the paper. Why not? I think for this one, I am going to do a happy birthday, and I'm going to use the Seaside Spray. And that will become my sentiment. So I'm just going to take the block from my little sun here, and we'll do a little changeover. And get out Seaside Spray. Of course, use whatever sentiment you have. You know, I like that one, life is better with a friend like you, right? That's a nice one too. So I'm just going to do the happy birthday down here in the bottom right corner. There. Really liking this Peaceful Moment set. I don't know, the sentiments are a nice size. They're a little bigger, but they aren't ridiculously big. They're very easy to kind of frame with a rectangle just by cutting your paper, or they fit nicely in the stitch nested label dies. So that definitely is a bonus. All right, you have your little tree here. I did a Lisa Hardin and didn't punch all these little guys through, I see. So if you have your Take Your Pick tool, which I don't have with me right now, or if you have that roller brush, that would be the best, but don't have that with me either. So I'm just going to poke some of those through, and if they don't all come out, they don't all come out. It's all good. Nobody's going to go, oh my goodness, you left some green spots. Nobody's going to care. Okay, now we're going to carefully take this layer off. I'm going to get out that Seaside spray layer, and now I'm sure yes I did. We're going to get out our liquid glue. But first I'm going to actually kind of pull this ribbon apart. Just makes it look more rugged and rustic and kind of grubby. Less perfect, right? So especially on the ends, I'm going for a kind of frayed look. And what we're going to do is actually just glue it down onto this Seaside spray nested label die. Like so. And then we're going to take our dimensionals, which I have over here, good. And we're actually going to pop this layer up over top, right over top of the cord, right over top of that Seaside spray. Just be mindful, don't put a dimensional kind of over top of the ribbon. You kind of want to, oh my goodness, look at these dimensionals. Just put it fairly close to the bottom, so that it maybe sits right underneath that cord. I think 4 is probably good. See, my dad doesn't have a garbage bucket handy here. I have to be careful, I don't want little bits all over his office. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to attach this. Like so. Good, good. All right, can you see how this might work out? Okay, so even though you had that big gap here, totally okay. Nobody is going to notice it because of this underneath the layer, it kind of hides that. And if it doesn't, take your blender pen, which I don't think I brought with me. Oh, maybe I did. Take your blender pen and just color in some of that with some of your old olive ink. Just color in a little bit. It's very whimsy. It's not perfect branches. And so it'll just give you the illusion that it's done and the illusion that it's colored, even though it's not quite.
Hello, bud. Oh, bud. Are you all by yourself? Is Kevin shoveling the driveway? Oh, dear.
It's okay. All right, so I'm just going to actually, since I've got the liquid glue out here, let's just go with the liquid glue, maybe. And attach this to our card. Kind of line up the, bottoms of the tree trunks. You don't want them kind of, all of a sudden there's a big gap, or it, drops the forest. And be mindful of, is it straight? Is that blue piece straight on your card? So kind of line it up nicely with the edge of the white piece. And then, of course, because it's liquid glue, you can kind of give it a little moment to shimmy around, right? Okay, next. Oh, let's do the tree. Okay, so tree gluing options are, you can use some liquid glue and just daub some on. You can put some liquid glue on a sponge and sponge it onto your tree. You can be lazy like me and just put some snail. It's going to have a little bit of a silvery, gooey sheen in little bits that maybe you don't want to show, but really hit up the top because it's nice and solid up there. I'm going to get my paper all gummy. or you can actually, you can use glue dots and just kind of, I remember we were at On Stage one year, and I think it was Karen Duke. She says, you know, roll up the glue dot like a booger. So there you go. You can roll it like a booger and kind of place them in strategic spots. Okay, so do you see how I have that little ding up there, but we're going to put the tree right over top and no one's going to see. Very nice. Okay, lastly, I'm just going to get that snail out again, or whatever kind of glue you want, and let's attach this to our card base. I love Seaside Spray. It is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, let's just place that down in the center. That really nicely brings, kind of makes that Seaside Spray nested label pop more because it has that blue around there. Okay, last step, easy peasy. Let's put this Whisper White light. Okay, I'm gonna have to change that out. Okay. Get that Seaside Spray layer in there, and it is ready to roll. Of course, I'm gonna let you decorate the inside if you choose. You can always stamp one of the trees. Same with the envelope. Stamp, you know, a tree in the corner, what have you. Done. So isn't that fun how you can kind of stamp different items all the way across, different intensities of the ink, and kind of you do it like a multi-layer stamping technique. I wonder how it would work with the mountains with this kind of idea. Might be kind of neat all the way across. Give it a try. Check, you know, try it this way. Try all sorts of things. We all love learning from each other. So I'm going to upload this to Facebook, and hopefully we can join each other live for our second card.